Sometimes I think the protest should end. I feel like things should somewhat stop. Um, Let me say this to you. I'm still very humbled that white people are able to understand. I'm not asking reparations from you. I'm not asking for you to hug me. I'm not asking for you to kneel in front of me. I'm not asking you to give me any money. I'm not asking for anything from you except for you to think about a world that you are not the only occupant of, and also a social consciousness that does not revolve around the Caucasian race. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. I am really humbled and pleasantly surprised to see Caucasians understanding and discerning that the world is changing. The amount of people who support the protest, the amount of people that support Black Lives Matters, the fact the military is actually not only were they not willing to put troops on the street of American cities, the military quite wholeheartedly is engaging in some sort of a fact-finding mission on how they'll be able to take Confederate leaders' names off of military bases. I didn't think that would hit me. I'm telling you, Confederate flag and all that's one thing. But, a lot of us said that the general's cabinet, Trump had a general's cabinet. And the fear was that they'll do whatever Trump says. They'll follow him to death. The fact that the American military is not doing what Trump said is actually, you had a general come out and say he should not have posed in that picture with Trump. That was wrong. I respect him for that. I respect him for that because that was not his fault. That was Trump's doing. Excuse me. And I believe Trump put him out there for that very purpose. To be an agitprop. We're going to war and I got my men and we going to whoop ass and he's doing his speech and flashbangs are going off in the background. Yeah, man. That is what I felt that was about. That was about sending a message. That was about sending a message. Now, I respect him for that. I respect him for that. The fact that he's willing to come out and say that. And I respect the fact that the Undersecretary of the Defense Department, Undersecretary Esper, I believe, resigned. I respect him for that. I hope one day he comes out and writes a book or speaks on a podcast so he can really lay out how he felt. It's an awesome letter he wrote. But I'd like to have somebody actually go in depth. That may never happen. As Sam Cedar said it, we don't often see that in America. People who are in those high-level national security posts just say, "No, I'm done. I quit." Like that doesn't happen. That resigning because this is immoral or no, doesn't happen. Very rare. Look, point I'm trying to make to you is this. I'm humbled. I'm living in a world that's changing rapidly, but it's changing. I thought I was alone. I'm not. And I'm just humbled to see these changes happening right before my eyes. Right before my eyes. Look. I don't know the solution to these problems. I don't. I don't have some overnight magic potion to give you. I don't. But I know that beating up on black and brown people does not help white people. Doesn't help them. I'm looking at how more polls are saying more of the country is Democrat than Republican. we're seeing Republicans are doing with playing with the polls and stuff. Even Trump said, if they make it easy to vote, you'll never have another Republican president. I love that. See, it filters down. When you study the stuff, you learn it filters down. What that means is they can do all the fraud they want. As we get Democrats in there from the bottom up, they'll start making decisions that make it harder to do that shit. That's what the DAs, these Democratic DAs are doing. But it takes that. I said it after Bernie Sanders suspended his campaign. I said it that the struggle must continue. I said that then. I'm saying that now. You know, it isn't just the president and just Biden. I have hope. I have hope that we as a society can move forward. We can move beyond this. That I thought policing. I'm talking about policing here. I'm talking about the social fabric of our society is changing. It's altering right before our eyes. And I have hope that this is going to have real concrete change. This is going to cause real concrete change. There's going to be some problems. The Confederate statutes, I spoke on that already. I mean, the Confederate names for military bases. I'm really humbled. Do you know what it means when, this is what I put out trying to make, I lost my train of thought. Do you know what it means when the GOP run veteran and military stuff? When they say themselves, we're going to, do a fact-finding research over the next 3 years in order to find out how we could take away these, take these names off of our bases. And Trump's like, I will fight it. That tells you that this is bigger than Trump. Many videos I'm talking about Trump. I'm ranting about Trump. This is not about Trump. This is not about Trumpsters. It's not about his base. This is a conversation that has nothing to do with that. This is a conversation that has to do with the military itself being altered, the establishment being altered, the people at the top realizing that we've got to do better. The Navy and the Marine Corps have banned the Confederate flag. NASCAR has banned the Confederate flag. I mean, I feel like my grandfather now. In a good way. I feel like my grandfather when he's seen Obama, I guess. That we've been fighting this fight, been talking about things for so long, and then it's just boom, 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 boom. NASCAR banned the Confederate flag. Marine Corps, Navy banned the Confederate flag. The military is taking Confederate names off of all their bases. You've got Confederate statues falling left and right. You've got cities choosing to take the statues down without even a discussion. You've got statues overseas being knocked into the ocean. I mean, it's mind-boggling, but it's in a good way. Very good. And it's a reminder, I don't think Trump will be reelected. Even if he is, I'm going to say the same thing, that I'm going to make this point. It won't change. Republican Party is on the wrong side of history. And the tighter they hold Trump and the deeper they burrow up his ass, the further they fall out of step with the reality of most Americans. Black and white, middle class, poor, working poor, whatever. They're falling out of step. And I think some of them know that. That's why they're actually talking about chokeholds and stuff like that. I mean, we should have had chokeholds banned 10 years ago. Major C departments were banning chokeholds, back in like the 90s. And Republican Party's always behind. But even they know. It's like the Steve King thing. They knew they had to say something. They couldn't allow him to make that statement about white supremacy. It's just, they're losing. They're losing all over. and they're falling over themselves to understand how they're losing. So you're gonna see these little things here and there where they give us little caveats, and Mitch McConnell talking about uh, slavery and all this stuff. It's way bigger than slavery, dude. Way bigger than that. This is about a system. This is about a complex that was designed to keep us poor. The drug war, mandatory minimums, Jim Crow, Jane Crow, all this was designed to fulfill a purpose. And we all know this, not by accident. Peace.